in summary, it's really important that this structure of strategy is actually considered. There's a way of thinking about videos that it's certainly be getting a lot more accessible over time, and there's another side to it where it's like it is going to be expensive if you're going for that larger brand video campaign. So actually getting it right is super important, and it can be easy to get it wrong. There's a lot of stakeholders typically involved, process-wise it can be tough. So it really is about choosing that strategy first as a way to mitigate you choosing, say, the wrong style or the wrong distribution channels. Always choose the strategy first. And we've worked, as you saw, across a lot of these campaigns. You can pretty much boil every type of product marketing strategy down to those 3 strategies that I showed you before. So you can always use this as a reference for best practice. The distribution channels then, they do change depending on your product. So what might work for one product is YouTube and Twitter. Instagram and Facebook might be another go-to for a particular company depending on their audience. So our advice is if you do have a performance team in-house, which has a good history with channels and paid spend, focus on 2 to 3 when it comes to video. You'd be surprised how differently it can behave to images, carousel, and standard text. It can be quite different just to get the hang of. Ultimately, it's going to be cheaper on ad spend kind of per play compared to a per view on an image or a still asset ad. We see like 2 to 3x cheaper actually per impression on a video compared to stills. So something to think about. Certainly good once you have the feel and once you have the data collected per campaign. And after that, really just ensuring that once you've chosen the distribution channels, the actual style of video suits that channel. So what I mean by that is not everything that's apt for a YouTube audience is going to fit Facebook. And not everything, say a nicely produced, Monday.com ad for YouTube, it's going to go well on TikTok. Chances are it's going to not go so well on TikTok at all. So, and I will reiterate again, TikTok is not just a B2C channel, B2B, and watch that space. But something to think about as well, depending on where your distribution channels are, the type of content and the style that should be best engaged with it there. And the last thing, just making sure you get as many assets from each video effort as possible, whether those are cut downs, whether they're GIFs or stills, just making sure that that's certainly something that you're asking for, because there is really a wealth of assets that come out of each of these projects. So something to certainly bear in mind, but just making sure you're getting the most leverage possible. Some tips, and this is coming out of pain points that our clients report. If you need help in finding inspiration, there's a great website that actually collates a lot of the best tech examples and product videos in tech specifically. It's called www.spectacle.is. It's great. Really good and well categorized. You can also search via some of the audience attitudes we talked about before. So by mood or tone, as well as style or even strategy. So really great. I think you'll find some of this glossary that you've learned today will actually translate over well. And for any further reading on video marketing that you'd like to know and be assured is high quality, we really like Wistia's Learning Center. They have a phenomenal blog that's very active, some really great and well-researched long forms. So I'd certainly be reading there if you'd like to learn more about particular channels as well. They actually do some really great analysis on, solely YouTube styles or, best practices for Twitter or website video. So I would look at those 2 resources for further learning. Want to say a big thank you for watching. The videos that you would have seen play there, if you would actually like to watch them with sound and get the full experience and context, you can head to videco.com and search for our portfolio, and there'll be many other companies like Airtable, Vanguard, obviously Square. There's a lot of videos there that you can look through for inspiration in addition to Spectacle. So that's certainly a resource that you can use. And any other questions around product marketing strategy and fitting video into that strategy, absolutely feel free to get in touch with our team. We'd be more than happy to have just an informal chat, lend any knowledge, or share any more metrics based on the companies we've worked with. I hope you all enjoy the summit and some of the other content that's going to be displayed. Thanks again for watching. Take care.